Welcome everyone to my Electrical Storm November raid warm-up live stream. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, going through a few of the different targets and the prizes that we're going to get. There are quite a few interesting things here. This is the first raid in the cycle, which are always 2 months long. So there are going to be a few brand new things to hit here. I'm planning on just using my Photon ECMs here because I don't really think that it's worthwhile to go over the old targets because the Gladius targets are going to be the same as last raid. I might auto one or two, show it maybe once. Maybe that would just be in a video later on. But the prizes that we're getting here are nothing really crazy or neat to get. There is, the few of the Photon ECM, the laser scopes that are recycled. The new prizes are number one, the depth charge concussive turret, which looks like to be a pretty good short range turret option. Some engines that are potentially useful for your Everests, and maybe a few upgrade kits for your Photon ECMs and or your Everest. We do have Everest U1, U2, and U3 upgrades. Enough talk, let's go ahead and get started here. This is the fleet that I'm using. It is built the way I showed in my video that I released a few hours ago with the 8 missiles, 100% damage, using Hyper 30 high missile jets as the last 2 special slots. And we do also have the other 4 ships are built pretty similar, with the exception of the 5th ship being a countermeasure ship as a one to test. I don't think this is going to work very well, but that's why I'm testing it. Let's go ahead and see if targets are spawned yet, and we can go ahead and hit those. And hello to people in chat. I see a few people in there already, and we can go ahead and get started. Looks like we have a 140, 142 spawning nearby. I'm wanting to hit a 140. Those are the first few targets to hit. Those are going to be the important ones. There is a special bit of a setting. You get there's the S set right here, 140, 142. That's going to be your bread and butter, as well as the challenging X set, which has the 511 and the 603 looks like. You do need the Gladius for 603, so that is a special important note there. Let's go find a 140, see how far away from the sector it takes us, and get started. I am using no crew for this one just to see how it goes. I don't really think that there's going to be crews that are exceedingly helpful in this event unless our damage turns out to be the most important factor, which I don't really expect to be true. And this one will probably matter where I enter from, so we'll have to see if I do come in at the top left. It looks like a 60-second timer in terms of entering, and I am on HTML5, so maybe that will be interesting to see or not. Alright, I'm entering on the bottom left on this one, so we might enter on the bottom left regardless, and this looks to be pretty similar to a VXP target. I do have one person watching me there, so there's a black card. These yellow buildings are boosting the attack damage of the enemy ships in turrets and everything. So you want to get these things down first before you kill everything else, if at all possible, is the recommendation we've had. Also appears to be a glitch. I expect this sonar ring is on a stonefish, but is not exactly on this area. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to start by going over the left side and taking down this titanium generator if I can do that. You did see a turret, spawning already on the map there, instantly going and taking away a whole bunch of my damage. It has a bunch of hits off on ship number 5, so that might be important to note. Something just spawning randomly in there. And I guess you can tell where things are going to spawn because of this dark water. You can see there's a whole patch right here. If I zoom out, there's a whole cluster underwater here. So it might be worthwhile going around to the various sides to get that through, at least if we figure that out a little bit later. Okay. I'm not going to turn around and run away, and there are ships coming at me. I can't really see where they are. That's the Dosicidus off on the left side. Let's zoom in so I can see those a little bit more closely. Looks like we have some very fast ships going towards me, but they're dying before they really get close, and I am having difficulty seeing them. They're doing some weird deep submerged thing, but I can't really tell what's happening. At this point, we have the Ghost Crawler incoming. You can apparently just barely outrange this thing, so let's try that. It looks like it's not really working, and it is under deep submerge right now, so I can't see it, and I can't really tell where it's coming at me from. So you effectively can't outrange the Ghost Crawler or it will be very hard to do. And it looks like I kept moving, and I didn't take any damage from that because the only damage I have is on ship number 5. Okay, let's go towards the white patch here, see if there is anything under this area. I don't expect there is. I think it's going to be further away. This looks like some sort of glitch. Yeah, the stonefish is actually over here. Let's go ahead and move off to the right side, take down this cluster of ghost crawlers and Dosecadus ships, and see if we can't take those down without doing too much damage. You actually haven't seen the photon stun aura work yet, as an interesting note here. Looks like I can outrange them and snipe them from where they are without them starting moving, which is interesting. The UAVs I have here that are shooting around are the built-in UAVs on the aim hack UAVs on the regular photons that reduce the enemy's accuracy. That might be important for a few ships, but it really shouldn't be that important. Here's an interesting thing. You can outrange the ghost crawler if it's stopped really easily, so you definitely want to do that on this right side cluster here. The other ships aren't really moving. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe they're supposed to, maybe they don't move unless you kill the titanium generator first or something like that. I'm guessing there are a few underwater platforms by these. This one is probably going to be a heavy missile turret. Let's take a look at this one and see what pops up as I do get closer. Nothing. Okay, so they're lying about the turrets being right there. Well, they're not. It just doesn't surface to you right there. Okay, let's aim for the stun turret as well as the photon death-sized missile, because that one needs to go down quickly. That one goes down really fast, but it doesn't pop up till you get close. I'm not sure having sonar or anything else would help out with that. Here's another cluster of ships that stopped. I really like that. It means I can snipe them out with taking no damage. That's probably an oversight, probably accidental, and the ghost crawler was shooting at me there, so it did get a few shots in at me, which actually did quite a bit of damage, so be very careful about that. But you can outrange the ghost crawler. And the last Dosecadus right there, those are ships don't really appear to be doing anything. I said at the beginning in the VXP targets I was not a fan of the ships that are sometimes underwater. Let's see what's interesting here. Okay, we do have the death-sized missile popping up outside there, and I'm going to pull one ship forward, ship number 5, and just see my anti-ship, see how well this actually works. Okay, it's shooting at me now, and yeah, maybe one missile came down out of that bunch. That is not a very effective anti-missile. I think I got 0 out of that one. Maybe two anti-missiles down out of there. 2 anti-missiles had a successful connection. Yeah, not really very helpful. Not very happy with that. I'll have to slow that down and watch the replay of that. Okay, here's the stonefish. Its missile is uncounterable, and a few things popping up next to it, which I guess you can see ahead of time. One big building that goes down, and another small one that is sort of half surfacing, not surfacing whatsoever. Another few clusters here, and again, why is there that surfacing animation on the top left when there's nothing around there? I don't really understand that. Okay, here's a death size, and to get that one taken down very quickly. And again, anti-missile doesn't appear to be doing a whole lot. There's another building that surfaces with doing nothing to me, and another fake surfacing area right there. Okay, looks like everything I've killed is everything above water I've killed. There's probably just a cluster right here, a turret that's going to pop up I do need to take care of. Now it looks like I'm killing this death size in about 1 volley, which I'm perfectly happy with. And there's a few very short range corrosive turrets, which should go down easily, or I can outrun them, which I didn't do a great job of. And there's something else underwater that needs to come up. I'm guessing it's symmetrical to this outpost right here. Yeah, that frustrates me quite a bit. You can't really tell where it is. I mean, you have to drive around. Yeah, it was at this spot. And it's a turret, short-range turret that only surfaces when I get close and I take a few shots from. Not looking like a fun raid cycle to me, people. Well, there's target number 1. I'm going to go ahead and hit the same thing again. Probably get significantly better results so I can do a better job driving at this. And 29 minutes repair, probably most on the 5th ship, which is really interesting. And let's spend 1 coin and go for another one. That is the 140, not the 410. And I would expect that those ships are actually supposed to move, and they're just not moving and they're broken. That's the advantage you get to alpha. You get to see all the bugs first, and if they're in your favor, great. If they're not in your favor, good luck. Okay, where is that? Where's a 140? I guess if we see a 142 first, we can hit that one. The one I just hit, however, that should have been the skill target. The skill target's usually the lower one. looking through the raid briefing here to double check, and 140 going for take 2. I'll bet you I can get this one down in instant repair because I won't get messed up by any different Scourge Ghost Crawler ships. And the 140 is the auto target, by the way. I just double checked on that one. So 140 take 2. I'm not quite sure you could auto this with any degree of effectiveness, but here we go. Okay, let's remember the first turret on the left is a death size, so we want to get that one down fairly quickly, and it won't matter if we get too close or not. If you do have a higher evade tank, probably best to put that one slightly ahead. I would expect that to help out. And one volley should take it down after it does get quite a few shot at me. You do want to shift click it, so you do shoot down at first. Ship 2 took all the damage that time, which is, again, interesting to note. Now the Dosicidus are incoming, and I'm shooting at them when they're somewhat underwater. Maybe that stun weapon kicked on there at the very end. I couldn't really tell because I can't see the ships in the damn target. Okay, now they're deep dive, but I can sort of see them, and now they're not. And they're getting stunned as I'm near. Okay, here's the Ghost Crawler. Keep moving, avoid turns. And you should be able to avoid much, if not all, of this corrosive damage. Okay, you can still kind of track where it is if it is debuffed through the UAVs. And a couple more shots. It looks like I am outranging it to some extent. It can probably still fire on you in deep dive, even though you don't know where it is. Not that you can really see it too well normally. This is the kiting trick, stay at max range, keep moving. It has a pretty slow turn speed, so it looks like this method right here that I somewhat accidentally found is working. And another full volley should take this thing down. Okay, you can see it did get some damage off towards me, took a shot at me, but I didn't actually take anything. Only damage is on ship 2 at this point. We're going to move closer, and remember there was a stonefish that popped up right about here last time. There we go. And shoot this one down. This one doesn't matter how you deal with it, just try and go quickly. There's a building that pops up, but this one was not threatening whatsoever. It's just there for points, I guess. And look at that, damage from an invisible turret that pops up I wasn't expecting. That's going to be the hard part of this raid cycle. Short range corrosive turret, it's hard to tell where it's going to pop up, even though there are things underwater that almost tell you. Okay, let's go ahead and snipe out that turret and then the Ghost Crawler. And I took some damage there. Okay, we might need some work for instant repair on this thing. Another few shots. Yeah, I don't expect that these ships are actually supposed to stay stopped because otherwise they're very, very useless. These things are staying stunned for a while there. And then it moves closer to me. Come on. Why can I not shoot at you when you're stunned? Unless it was under deep water somehow for some reason, but that doesn't make sense either. Okay, death side is the threatening one. And here we go. Yeah, I'm thinking Sea Serpents might be fairly helpful, especially against the Ghost Crawler, although I was able to outmaneuver it really easily in any case. The Ghost Crawler needs turn speed is what I would say. Okay, again, snipe the Ghost Crawler out here. Should be fairly easy. And then kill the little squid ships is what we're calling them, I guess. And now there's a couple things off to the left. There were a few turrets that did pop up, which you do have to be careful about. I think there were only buildings in these main ones. And maybe one towards the top here that was a death scythe. But again, looking at this stuff, you can't really tell me if it's going to be a building or going to be a turret. At least I can't. Why couldn't they just start above water? I mean, that would kind of solve all the issues. And there's a short range turret that pops up where I didn't expect it and blasts me. So why did this platform underwater have a turret, but this one didn't, and this one didn't, and this one does? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, there we go. This one does. So some of these intersections do, some don't. This particular intersection didn't even have a little platform on it. It was just crossing wires, and the other one did. Okay, there's a big building. I was worried there was going to be another turret that was going to blast me. And here we go. Off on the left, do a little spin. Take down the stun building if possible, although it doesn't really seem to be a threat. given that I was able to kill that death scythe in one volley anyway, so stun building seems fairly useless. That was probably worse than the first attempt, but it gives you a better idea of how annoying this is going to be to deal with. Let's go with thoughts on the 140, which is designed to be the auto target. I guess I could even try to auto it. Okay, that was slightly better, 25 minutes. Probably 5 minutes on each of these two first ships, but I'll spend a coin on that. The 140 target, I'm not a fan of this. I don't know if you can tell, but it frustrates me to have ships that don't come up out of water all the way, and turrets that pop up when you're already in range of the short range turret. That's frustrating. I wish the target had just started surfaced, or things came up when you were significantly closer to them. The ships are also frustrating because they start out underwater, which I am not a fan of, and you can't really tell when they deep dive, and there's no animation that shows this, at least not on HTML5. Okay, there's Apex Predator coming to steal my target. Well, 142, or thoughts on 140 finishing up. It's not a fun target. I don't enjoy it. I wish things started out serviced earlier. It's quite disappointing they don't. Here's the 142. Looks VXP target-ish. And go ahead and get started. This angle will matter where you enter from. I'm going to guess we have things that are submerged on this platform, over here. So let's go around close to the outside one on the right side, see if we can kill this titanium generator and what pops up along the way. There are some ships in here. Hopefully I'll deal with those later. And look at that, something's popping up. A bunch of short-range turrets, so be careful you don't go too close to that one. And then the depth size. And the little obelisk turret right here, right close. That probably stuns the depth scythe. Okay, let's take down a few of these short-range turrets so they don't surprise us later, because they probably have a tendency to do that. And let's see what ship actually took damage here. Ship 2 took the damage that time from the depth scythe. I think evade's going to be way more helpful than anti-missile accuracy against that one. Okay, let's see what pops up on this area right here. Stop. And I can take down the titanium generator. I mean, you have to tell me, it looks like something's supposed to pop up there. Okay, it's one of those large buildings. Well, that's a quarter of the target cleared without too much hassle. And another fake surfacing building. These big platforms on the side probably have turrets too. Let's see. Hopefully it's not a short-range turret that pops up right next to me, because that would be disappointing. It's a depth scythe. Okay. You want to surface in range of these things so you're closer to it, but you do not want to surface in range of the scatterguns. I'm going to guess this is a large point building at this point rather than anything else. And we have a couple ships incoming now. Let's run away to the top right and kite them, shoot them before they get towards us. These fast short-range ships are just that, fast short-range ships. And let's take down the ghost crawler, wait for it to get close and keep moving, see if I can get any shots off at it. And remember, even if it does shoot at you and you are moving, it's probably not a big deal because it misses and does pretty much all corrosive splash damage. So you can see I have a few ships, ship 3, ship 4, still untouched, which means it didn't really do any damage to me. So I'm liking the Hyper 30 choice in terms of the extra combat speed being able to outrun some things. Here's the stonefish, which is actually at its range circle where it says it's going to be. I'm not quite sure what's up with all of those. And a stun building, which you might want to get down, add some extra stun to ward ships. Okay, one of those sonar rings just moved over to the left side, and this is probably a depth scythe right here. Let's see if we can snag the titanium generator before anything too drastic hits us. Okay, depth scythe on another unexpected point, and take down the titanium generator, which should lower the damage of the turrets and ships in this target. Okay, I'm in range of this platform. I would like very much for it to surface, so I do not enter a corrosive turret at point-blank range. I said I would like very much for it to surface, so I do not enter a corrosive turret at point-blank range. Maybe there's nothing there. So why are there platforms there if there's no turrets there? Or why are they not surfacing if I'm coming within 60 range? Is there anything at this one? Doesn't... Oh, yes there is. And it's a short-range corrosive turret. Would you look at that? and 2 short-range corrosive turrets right on top of me. This is going to be a fun raid cycle, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, take down the Death Scythe and the other Death Scythe. There are a few ships coming towards me. I don't really know where they are right now. Maybe I need more sonar. Maybe they're underwater. Maybe they're surfaced. I can't really tell. Let's just try and kite the Ghost Crawler, see how that does. And I took a pretty massive blast to my flagship. Would you look at that? Something did a whole bunch of damage to that. Here are the little Dosicidus ships. Again, stay at max range, and if one does come towards you, it might get stunned. So there you go. I can't even really tell what they're shooting at. This, I mean, I wasn't around for the first Scourge raid. This doesn't look nearly as hard as people have described that, but it looks as frustrating in terms of you can't tell where the enemy is. Why are you going to give us a target that we can't see and that surfaces at random times and we can't even tell where it is? I don't understand that. Okay, looks like we have taken some splash damage throughout this target. Ship 4 and 5 do have a little bit of damage on them, so that probably came through the corrosive turrets I surfaced under right here. Even though I was trying to stay at max range of that island, it doesn't surface when you're at max range. It surfaces when you're inside that area range of the corrosive turrets. So good luck to you there. That's pretty much all I have to say for that. I mean, it'd be nice to know if they surface when you're close to within 60 range of the center point, within 60 range of any point on here, within 60 range of one of these turrets. It'd be nice to know what the criteria is for that. Here's another target where at this point I have killed everything on map and I've driven close to everything, but there is another platform that's not surfaced. I'm guessing it's right here. I already came close to this one. Looks like I had to get a little bit closer to take down the Death Scythe, which I drove in this proximity to it before, so I'm not sure what that's up about. And maybe there's one more turret right here underwater. So every dark spot on the water does have a platform, but you can't really tell what the range is and how close you need to get to surface, or even what's it going to be when it does surface. Okay, there's the 142. Angle matters where you entered from. The one I picked in the bottom right seemed that it was a good angle to pick, but I don't really think it will matter too much in this one. Damage taken is almost all penetrative. Probably means I drove fairly well. And let's see, 27 minutes of damage. So I'm not getting bad repair from these targets. I'm just getting punitive damage that I can't avoid, things that pop up out of nowhere and blast me on a few ships. I would be okay. I'm okay with taking damage in the target. I just don't like to get damage that I can't avoid or use skill to counter against. Yeah, at least the damage isn't insane. It's not horrible. It's just frustrating because there's no way to avoid it. Let's see if we can hit another 142. Looks like someone already gave a pathway through 511, so that might be an interesting one. Thoughts on that first 142 is it's not a horrible target. It's just the mechanics of it I dislike, in terms of the land tiles don't pop up until you're already within range of these scattergun turrets in several cases. You can't tell what it's going to be, and the ships seem to be halfway underwater even when they are surfaced, and you can't even see where they are or where they're coming towards you. You can sort of chase that and sneak into it with seeing the debuff that the aim hack UAV applies onto it, but you can't really understand where they are or what path they're taking, or if they're surfaced above water, if they can shoot at you, if you can shoot at them. It doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. Yeah, thank you for all the support in chat I'm getting from people. Seeing quite a few regulars there. Let's go ahead and get started with the 142 take 2. I'm going to assume that the platform surfaces when you get close to the center. So let's come close to the center of this one and see if something surfaces other than the ships that run towards me. And they can go through the platform. That's just cheating. They can go through where the underwater platform is. That seems like cheating to me. Okay, here's the Ghost Crawler, going to get towards it and then run away. Try and stay moving at max range is the general idea for this one. If I can make it turn, all the better, because it has a pretty low turn speed. another few shots off at me, and it is taking 0 damage. I'm taking 0 damage so far. Stay moving in a straight line. Maybe turn a little bit if I'm able to, and I'm out of range. Here we go, another shot that missed, and perfect. That's how you... Oh, I spoke too soon. I can't even see a timer on it. Okay, that's how you deal with ghost crawlers. Things down. Okay, does this land tile want to surface, or does it want to stay underwater? Okay, it wants to surface when you get close enough. If those were corrosive turrets, I might have been... Jeez, that hurts. Look at the damage on ship 1. You really need to take those titanium generators down first, I guess. Or it's coded to do triple damage to the flagship. Dang, those turrets hurt. I guess the lesson we're seeing is take those titanium generators down first. Now, is there something on this island? So you don't want to engage the death side until those things are down, but you can't tell where the death side is. And you can't get to the titanium generators without going through the islands. Okay. Well, I'm forming an idea of go around the outside, pick off the ships, take down the yellow building, take down the yellow building. That might help there. I'm running with a few U1 ships. I think 2 of my ships, I can go through it. Ship 1, the flagship, is U1, and ship 5 is U1. So I have 3 ships at U2 and 3 ships at U1. So not high upgrades, but it's the free version that most people have. I mean, I saved my tokens, built my ships, did the TLCs. Okay, another shot from the ghost crawler. I might have missed that. Hard to tell at this point. And this turret was a death side, if I remember correctly, so let's steer away from that and see if we can take down the titanium generator first before anything triggers off. Which might be a bad move, but there we go. Okay, we got the titanium generator. Now let's see if we can get out of here. And I don't remember what was on these islands. I can't tell, so I'm gonna go all the way around to take down this last one and then start shooting at the death sides. And here's the ship. I don't remember if it was moving earlier or not. Probably was not. And finishing off this 142. This is a pretty slow target. Okay, this one's shooting at me, so I should take that down. And here we go. Another titanium generator. So now that those are down, the target should be doing less damage to me, is the idea behind that. But you can't really tell how it works, and it's even only... they haven't told us how much it boosts the damage. Does it double the enemy damage? What? It looks like countermeasures are pretty useless. Let's see if we can show it again when something surfaces. Okay, were you a short-range turret or a damaging turret? You are a short-range turret. That doesn't surface till I get in your short range. So I'm screwed. Okay, that one I messed up myself. And that one I messed up myself too. Okay, here's the countermeasure thing. I'm going to take my 5th ship and move it towards this one right here. And, okay. It shoots at every single one of these missile projectiles. Do you see that? It shoots at every single one of them. But very few, if any of them, actually get knocked down. Maybe 1 or 2 out of the volley of 16, 20. It appears countermeasures are maybe if only going to take 10% of the incoming missiles down. Although, to be fair, do I need more damage in this target? Probably not. I'm already doing enough as it is. I'm killing the turrets quickly. So if anything, I need more evade and more more evade, more speed, something like that. But countermeasures are not important here. Okay, there's a stun building, and something else is going to surface here and smack me with a short-range corrosive turret. Oh well, it's just a long-range one. I'm using the anti-proliferation system too. Well, there's the 142 take 2. Almost all penetrative damage. I'm using Hyper 30s. I think a Sea Serpent crew is probably one of the better ones we have, considering all the damage I'm taking is penetrative. I would go with Hyper 30s still, and then the penetrative. Here's the flagship. It's the damage version, damage version, damage version, damage version, and the countermeasure ship. The only question here is guidance score number 3 versus Hyper 30. I like Hyper 30 at this point from what I've seen so far. Let's see if we can get this repair down to 1 coin in base. And, you know, 142 is not my favorite target. Might be a bit better than the 140. The 142 might be a bit better because every single platform is more clear on where they're at. But it's not great. You know, I can throw on a Steelhead Screw, and that would help against penetrative damage only. I could throw on a Sea Serpent for evade, and that would help. Corrosive damage does not appear to be a huge factor here. Okay, a few ships are below the 5-minute repair, which is good. I guess I do have some 1-hour fleet repair tokens I should have been spending instead of my 1 coin, but I'll spend those later there. Looks like we might have a minute or so of waiting time on this repair. You know, even if the damage is low, I still care about how I feel when I'm hitting the target and what sort of thing they do, because it doesn't make me feel happy when a short-range corrosive turret pops up out of nowhere and blasts my entire fleet. There's no way really to avoid that or tell it's coming, at least on the first few hits. We're going to switch gears here onto a Gladius fleet to go against the 603 target, which is for the X set, as in Zulu, the very top tier here. That's a pretty small set bonus, and we'll see how many points this thing ends up paying out. But the Gladius was a fairly... Actually, you could use a little bit of skill when driving this one. Go ahead and see what sort of damage we're taking off of this one, if we can get into the target. Okay, this does appear to be a new one, and there is again a few with the Gladius. There is a large silo area in the center. As soon as you set this one off, there's going to be several booms that go off. Looks like we're going to have to plan out an attack angle here. Probably start out with taking down these outside ballistas. See how bad they are. Once I go around the entire outside, I can start finding one channel to go towards the inside here. Looks like there's a few entry points, some of which are likely covered by ballistas, some of which aren't. Probably stay zoomed out here for a better big picture view. And if I need to tank, I'll tank, but doesn't appear to be a huge issue so far. Now there are a bunch of mountains on the outside here. We're going against, again, this turret's not going, okay, there's a ballista, but it's blocked by mountains. So that's an important one there. This I should be taking against this harpoon turret, or can hope to kill it quickly. Okay, there's a ballista on the outside, ballista right here. Mountains, which will block this radioactive fire. And let's split off here. Any ballistas on the left I need to be worried about? No, none pointing at me. If I can get this turret to explode, that will do some nice damage. Okay, is his fuse blown? Is he gonna blow or not? Looks like not. If we keep going, yeah, there's some issues. So go all the way around to the very left side. I don't want to trigger the silo. It might be worth it to do, but I'm going to try to avoid that. And I just did. Well, there we go. Be very, very careful of that left side. I ended up killing the two smaller silos that triggered the larger one. Do I want to head in this path? No, I do not. How am I going to get to the core? Do I want to go through? I want to get to here. I want to get to this area and go straight through, get the core, blow stuff up. This is again a very large target. I'm not going to be super excited to hit 1,000 of these. Now, if I don't blow up this left side, I'll do much better. There's no probably about it. Not worried about this particular shot because it will get blocked by mountains. And let's move towards the center and blow something up. I'm going to take 3 ships and send them in so I can have a more controlled explosion. Get very close to this one, shoot at it, and run. Would you look at that? I definitely need to spend some more time to play around with this one, find a better approach, because this what I'm doing right here is not optimal, to say the least. Okay, let's hope to stay distance from this one. A few things on the bottom here. Yeah, they're really just making a big target and saying you're going through the entire thing and looping around doing about 2 or 3 laps. Ballista on the left side, so let's come down around the outside of this channel. And then a few turrets right here, and that should be the target. Again, this is pretty high contrast, so I can't actually tell where everything is on the first look. Damage should be will be much lower if you don't accidentally hit one of those silos. Well, this target isn't bad. It's going to take a little while. It's going to be a bit of a puzzle to figure out. But once it does, it shouldn't be bad. It doesn't look like there's any turrets popping up out of nowhere to smack you, so that's a good thing, right? Yeah, the 603 doesn't look bad. It looks like it's going to be an okay one to play around with your Gladius fleet in. Just avoid the big booms with the 2 silos triggering the larger one, and you'll be good. And it was a full X1 fleet, if I remember correctly. So now there's still one of those that's hanging out at U3, so I'll have to get that last one upgraded. Now this is done. Damage taken was mostly ballistic from, that doesn't make a whole ton of sense. Oh well. 1 hour damage with a mess up. That won't be bad. Well, maybe we can get that one repaired again, take a look at that towards the end, but I'm going to switch over to the 511 now, which is another of the Photon ECM targets. Yeah, the 1 hour repair tokens are probably a pretty nice thing for players experimenting with these raid targets to see what sort of damage they do and how punishing they are. And if you're curious, you can blitz the 511 this time. Enter it on the bottom right to see if it is an important target that matters where you come in from. Let's check that out. All right. Now these targets are taking quite a while to load in, which maybe there's a different problem with the, oh god. Oh. Do you see this grid? Oh, that's horrible. That's just lovely. So is there a turret here? Are there 4 right here and 1 right here? Are there 1 where the paths cross? Are there walls between there? I mean, there's definitely some on these large platforms. But this is just, that's just horrible. That is not a target that I am not happy entering the target and seeing that. Okay, I'm near range of this building. Let's see what's in there. Short range turret. And a building. And I took some damage, so not off to a good start. Okay, a few ships are coming towards me. I would want to deal with the stonefish a little earlier if possible. Looks like the little squid fish are going to come towards me. They don't really seem to be doing that much as long as you run away from them. Let's get the these things down. There, stun that guy. Yeah, the target does look like quite a pain. Let's see what surfaces as we get closer here, or what else comes towards me. Okay, another volley of ships, and 2 missiles to spawn in. Again, anti-missile is shooting at everything one time, but it's not very effective whatsoever. Okay, why are you not stunned? The highest health thing, or effective highest health, does appear to be the Ghost Crawler. It takes the longest time to kill that. Maybe 1 volley to kill the other things. Okay, more ships coming towards me when I can't really tell where they are or what they're doing. Like, why does it have to come towards me, then go halfway under? You know, this thing isn't even serviced all the way. This isn't very exciting. I mean, I can't. And you see a shadow part time, and this is just not a good look. All right. Stonefish goes down. Take down the death scythe. Maybe blast the stun building if possible, but that doesn't appear to be placed in a good spot. And Stonefish also has fairly high health, but is stunned for quite a while. Okay, what turret is right there that's going to pop up and shoot me? Oh, right, the short range one. That's lovely. Okay, another cluster of buildings. Wonder what this one is going to be. No way to know or find out until it's too late, and it's a short-range turret that takes a shot off at me. Oh god. Well, if you keep moving fast, that might be the best way to avoid those. Stay at a high rate of speed. Maybe if it happens to be a corrosive turret, you're in a little bit better luck. Okay, shoot at those ships. Take them down. And they go underwater invisible for a while and drive around the outside. Got some stonefish incoming. Those aren't shooting at me just yet, but they're just following me, which I'm not too upset about. This is probably a short-range turret. Why are you not surfacing? I'm literally right next to you. I'm literally right next to you. And when it surfaces, it's just a platform? That's amazing. I'm not the happiest about this target. Okay, there's a platform. There's definitely something there. And it turns out to be a missile turret. Yeah, another missile turret here. We're just going around the outside, seeing what kind of stuff is here. Stonefish. Might be a turret on this intersection, might not. There's a stun building. Might want to save that actually until some ships get closer before killing that if possible. Looks like I stunned a few of them though. Pretty large stun area, but you can't really tell what it is, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, there's a short-range corrosive turret. You can't tell where it's going to be, what specific platform it's going to pop up on, because there's 4 right next to it, and you don't know where it's actually going to be. Yeah, it's going to be on 1, 2, 3, 4 in the center. Which one should you stay furthest away from? You can't tell. By the time you can tell, you already got hit by it. Another ship coming at me. Okay, another 2 turret clusters. And get blasted by a short-range turret. Fantastic. Okay, there's a missile, long range, not too worried. Okay, double platform, which serviced far away from me for some reason this time. And I still managed to get hit by it. So that shows you how much I'm concentrating on these targets. And the Ghost Crawler, probably best to engage this thing in open water rather than trying to go towards it when you're also next to a turret. Keep moving in a straight line and stay at max range. If it does shoot, it will probably miss in the first place. I have 2 ships at U1 and 3 ships are at U2. Okay, is there anything right here? I'm literally right on top of the platform, and it takes forever to surface. Well, this target's almost gone through. This is not a very exciting target to hit. It's going to take me a while to figure it out. By the time I do, am I going to be done with the raid already? Likely. Okay, Ghost Crawler. I'll try and keep moving. Ship 1 appears to be taking a lot of damage compared to everything else, probably because it's targeted by the missile turrets more, but it's taking significantly more. It seems like something's got to be up there. Alright, another few things to go through here. Some of these Dosicidus ships, and a short-range corrosive turret. So it's really difficult to engage ships in this short water, and this guy's firing at me when stunned, so he's a cheater. I'm not looking forward to the rest of this raid. I'll probably just stick to the 140 and 142, maybe throw in some Gladius fleets in there somewhere, because this large target is not one I'm very excited about hitting. But this whole mechanic is not something I'm very excited about hitting. Okay, why is this titanium generator stunned? And why am I not surprised that something pops up and blasts me? Okay, let's play Find the Buildings. Missile there, dies in 1 shot or so. Gonna run right into a corrosive turret, which doesn't surface when I'm far away. Anything on this spot right here? No, there's nothing on this spot, really. Well, that's surprising. Nothing on that one. One far away, and it's just a stun building. Well, at least this thing's somewhat symmetrical, so you might have an idea. There's probably something right in the center. And it's a double corrosive turret. You know, just wait till they spawn out of nowhere when you're right close, and then they blast a couple holes in you. Alright, where's the last thing? Anyone want to play Find the Target? I don't. That's not fun. Do I just split my ships up and have them go on an adventure? I think I do. Yeah, this is what we didn't want to have to do. Pressing S won't find it because there's nothing. I'm pressing S right now, selecting ship 5. There's nothing for it to go towards. Except the one I just ran into there, that it popped up. Well, Richard, the only one to ask about that at this point, so hopefully everyone else can hear okay, although I did have a setting pop up earlier. All my different indicators are showing green, so I'm not sure about that. And 1 hour damage, so not horrible, prepare for that target, but it's not great or not very good either. 1 hour damage for that one. Thoughts on the 603, or 511 rather. Not a fun target, not something I enjoy hitting. I don't enjoy playing hide and seek in the target. I don't enjoy something popping up and blasting me. I don't enjoy not knowing what's going to hit me. I don't enjoy the ship staying, 75% underwater at all times. I don't enjoy them completely going invisible and going through land tiles. But on the bright side, the damage is fairly low. I suppose we do have a final test of going through the 140 target on auto, seeing if that is at all possible. But this raid cycle is not something I am super excited for. Let's find a 140, hit on auto, see if that's possible. I would hope that they had tested this. I don't really recall if it was looking like that, but we'll see what kind of damage we get on there. Hopefully that means I don't have to drive every single target, and I can auto half the things instead of having to hit every single one. That would be ideal. Yeah, that's the question, Slappy. Did they learn we don't like structures that pop up out of nowhere in the Cannoneer raid? And I don't even think that was as bad as this one. Alright, well, we're starting out with these ships going up towards the left. And someone named Centaur is watching me. Wonder if that is the probably not the Centaur, but... Alright, well, ships are splitting apart and going towards different things, getting stuck. Stunning a few of these enemy ships. It appears enemy ships are invisible when they're stunned. So that's really, really exciting. By exciting, I mean quite frustrating. If you're Kixeye support and I'm sending you this video later, take a look at these ships, how they're literally invincible when they're stunned, and I'm going to lose my entire fleet. Well, on that unfortunate note, I think I'm going to have to start driving this thing again, because otherwise I just get blasted to death and I can't do anything about it. You can't even auto the targets. You can't auto the auto target. Things are broken. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and retreat from this thing because I don't want to play around with that one. If you're going to have a raid cycle that is this poorly designed in concept, I don't really feel like participating in it. So there we go. I'm not a fan of this target. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying taking any damage on my fleet from autoing it and having invincible photon ships, invincible Dosigus ships. Brace yourselves, this is going to be a tough raid. If you want to use your Gladius fleet to auto the level 80, probably the way to go here, because you take guaranteed damage. Well, at least there's no must-have prizes here. I mean, you can spend 15 million on an Everest engine or another 15 million on your depth charge, maybe more on the upgrade kits, which actually is interesting to think about. The upgrade kits for the Everest, we should check on this one. Upgrade kits for the Everest, where are you? Probably in featured. Okay, upgrade kit for the Everest is 10 for 500, 10 for half a million. Half a million gets you 10, and the normal ones are let's see. So Everest kits are double the price, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, every kids are double the price, so congratulations. That has been the Electrical Storm, raid warm-up live stream. Not a very exciting one. It is possible to drive the thing, stay at max range, keep moving if you want to go through this. Countermeasures don't work. Things are very frustrating, so good luck with that one. I hope that this has been helpful for you, showing the first hour or so of my raid, the first targets I've been hitting. I'm up to 3 million points with 4 coins and a 1 hour repair token spent, and a glitch repair. If you have any questions or want to see further raid videos, go ahead and comment below in live chat right now, or if you're watching the video later, commenting on this thing. That's about all I'm going to do for today. If you have any other Battle Pirates questions, more than happy to answer them. I will be releasing more raid videos as we go throughout the raid here. Probably get a 140 and 142 done later today for reasonable repair, maybe even down to instant if I can manage it. But I'm not super excited with this one. I encourage people with complaints about the raid and the targets and the mechanics. I would go to forums and let people know, because I certainly will be doing that as well. Thank you, everyone, and as always, this has been Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.